In the world of add, subtract, multiply, and dividing decimals, today we divide decimals. Let's jump right in. Dividing decimals allows us to work with real world problems when the numbers aren't whole. So when would that be? Well, dividing decimals in the real world, splitting a bill, like when you go out to eat with 6 of your friends and then you divvy it up later. Maybe you're only going to make half of a recipe. Or maybe you're finding miles per gallon for your car or determining the unit price of an item at the grocery store. All of these are dividing decimals in the real world. Well, how do we divide decimals without a calculator? We want to make the divisor a whole number. So what are we dividing by? That number we want to be a whole number. So we're going to move the decimal all the way to the right. And however many decimal places we move it, we're going to move that decimal point the same number in the dividend. And we'll look at this in an example in just one moment. Then you divide, place the decimal point straight up above where it is in the dividend, and you determine the sign of the quotient, again, depending on if you're dividing positive or negative numbers. Let's look at an example. We're going to divide 3.484 divided by 2.6. So let's jump in and look at our steps. So 3.484 divided by 2.6. Now you can see 2.6, our divisor has a decimal, so I'm going to move it over one place. And because I moved it one place in the divisor, I move it one place in the dividend. Now I like to just move my decimal straight up at that point. So there it goes. All right, now I can divide. So 26 goes into 34 one time. Well, 1 times 26 is 26, and I subtract. So 34 minus 26 is 8. I bring down my next number, and I say, okay, how many times does 26 go into 88? Oh, 3 times. So now 3 times 26, well, 3 times 6 is 18, carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, so I get 78. Subtract and I get 10, bring down my 4. So now when I look at this, 26 goes into 104 4 times. So 4 times 6 is 26, carry my 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, and I end up with 0 remainder. So my answer is 1.34. Now, remembering our steps, so that's, working through it, let's remember our steps. What did we do in this problem? We made the divisor whole by making it 26, which then made our dividend 34.84. We divided and placed the decimal. Because both of our numbers were positive, we just end up with a quotient of 1.34. Let's do another one. We're going to divide 11.776 divided by 5.12. Again, let's go ahead and just jump in. 11.776 divided by 5.12. Easy to see here that we have 2 decimal points that we need to move. If you move 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside, I go straight up to make my decimal point. Great. Now, if we look at this, 512. Well, 512 does not go into 117, so I need to think, how many times does 512 go into 1,177? Well, the answer is 2. All right, let's multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10, and we subtract. So 3, 5, 1. Bring down my 6. So now I think, how many times does 512 go into 1536? Well, let's try 3 because it's more than the 1024. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So when I subtract, I have nothing left over, and my quotient is 2.3. So you'll notice again, they're both positive, so we're going to have a positive answer. And it really helps if you put your decimal straight up right at the very beginning, then you don't forget about it at the end. So let's just review our steps. We wanted to make that 5.12 a whole number, so it becomes 512. And because I moved that decimal 2 places on the outside, I moved it 2 places on the inside to end up with 1,177.6. I divided, placed the decimal point straight up, and I end up with a quotient of 2.3. And there's dividing decimals without a calculator.